So is exopolysaccharides the sacred enzyme? I'm starting to think it might just be. So I hope that you were with me when we were outside working in the alchemy garden as we set up some experiments that we're going to carry on as some observations on, just like watching nature. We're going to be watching nature and doing natural alchemy. And so one of the things that I came across, and it's funny because, you know, I talk about this all the time about just thoughts dropping into my head from some other place. I don't know if it's my thought adjuster. And, you know, maybe I'll be able to work that out. But right now, it really doesn't matter, because if it's information that's usable and it's good and it benefits humanity, then I would say that it's divinely inspired. Now, if it's something that's negative and hateful, I would say that's probably not divinely inspired. It's something else. But I get led down these thoughts. I get these thoughts dropped into my head, and then I have to pick them apart. And I have to try to figure out, what am I being told here? What does this say? So I came onto this thing called microbial exopolysaccharides, okay? I've been studying this stuff with enzymes for a while, and I find it very fascinating because, you know, my brothers both passed away because of an enzyme abnormality that runs in our genetic code. And it has to be modified by diet and different types of living. And it's just the way that it is. It's just the way that it is. The nutrition comes from the planet, and the nutrition is what heals our body, not any kind of not any kind of pill or anything like that you're going to take. It's not a quick fix. The nutrition and the healing all come from in here. You just got to know what you're putting in your body and what it does, because every plant has a purpose, just like we have a purpose. Every herb has a purpose. Every vegetable has a purpose. Every fruit has a purpose, just like the golden apples. I mean, I'm starting to wonder if it might have been the quince, but, you know, there's not tons of quince groves here in Florida, but there are a lot of citrus groves. So, you know, it has to do with the nutritional content that's in oranges. And yes, you know, maybe these people that were growing the golden apple, maybe the reason that they had infinite life from these is because of the way that their enzymatic system worked, and that that their body used these types of nutrients for extra longevity. And, you know, they didn't eat all the garbage that we do. So the microbial exopolysaccharides is the slime. It's the slime, the gooey, ooey, slimy, snotty looking stuff that comes off of mushrooms when they start getting old. You know, those are enzymes. And also when they get warm, you know, they start leaching out this protective type slime, just like when we have in our allergies. So this is how I started, was because I'm always having problems with my allergies. And I keep trying to figure out, why is this? Because I've been cleaning up my diet so much and cutting so many things from my diet that I can't understand why I'm having so much cysteine in my body still. But then I came across this exopolysaccharides. Okay, you have some different kind of slimy stuff in your body. You know, you've got exopolysaccharides, and you know, and one good way to kind of explain how the process is kind of like a pimple. You know, if you've got a pimple and it's encased and it's got, or even a tumor, you know, the body wants to heal itself, so it's going to take those bacteria and close them into like a bubble, right? And so, you know, your body is an amazing machine. It's a biological computer. So what exopolysaccharides do is they have two different types of benefits. They can either be a defense mechanism, or they can be just the opposite. You know, it can either be a bad type of bacteria, or it could actually be a good one. Kind of like in the old days, how they used to drink beer water. Okay, they didn't drink beer water because they wanted to be messed up all the time. That was probiotics, folks. They were drinking their probiotics. I mean, it's so simple and so logical. I don't know how we just can't get it. Just like bitters. They used to put bitters in their alcoholic beverages. Okay, bitters kill gut bacteria. So, you know, they knew a lot of things that we didn't. We just think that bitters are something that you put in your, you know, your Tom Collins or whatever the heck you're drinking with your liquor. But no, bitters, that's why they taste bad, is because they kill parasites. So, we're missing a lot of stuff here. So I'm going to read to you these exopolysaccharides are so important, and if we don't have these things happening in our plants and in our human bodies, then there's no wonder that we have citrus greening, that people are sick, that people have cancer, people have inflammatory diseases, how we have all these problems, how we have damaged gut bacteria, and damaged vagal nerves as a result, birth defects, the whole 9 yards. So microbial exopolysaccharides, they have a lot of different roles. One of them is they're a defense or a protection against environmental factors. Okay, we're dealing with a lot of environmental factors attacking us right now. Okay, so these help us against these types of things. Okay, they attach to surfaces, like I was talking about, like a pimple almost. Okay, they gather nutrients, and they're converting these nutrients. Like I showed you that those avocados, those exopolysaccharides just start eating that thing down, and it makes that slimy, disgusting juice that's in there. That's all good stuff. It helps with cell movement because it's slimy. It's an antigen. And this is one of the reasons that I think that when they talk about doing these sex rites these religious sex rites in old times, they would want a redheaded kid that had a lot of pimples. And it's not a coincidence. That person has a lot of antigens in their body. Okay, it establishes a structural and functional integrity of bacterial biofilms. Okay, retains water, absorption of exogenous organic compounds and inorganic ions. So if this stuff is not here to start with, then it's not absorbing everything that it should, just like your gut. If your gut bacteria is bad and you have too much acid and not enough, you don't have the right things, enzymes happening in your fundus and in small and large intestines, then you're not going to absorb your nutrients properly. So you're going to be nutritionally deprived. And so these exopolysaccharides are really, really important. So, exopolysaccharides, it says extracellular polymeric substances may include exopolysaccharides and other macromolecules such as DNA, lipids, and proteins. And we're talking, this is amazing stuff here. So, if you have a microbial EPS, generally exists in two forms, in a cell and then released. So you got the slime, and then you got a cell, like a bubble, a protective type bubble. So, according to what's going on in that plant or that body, you might need a combination of things. And so this is how I came upon this whole accidental discovery of taking my dehydration machine and putting sliced beets that I didn't blanch them, I left them in there. And then underneath that, I had a whole layer of sliced citrus fruit. I had some grapefruit, some oranges, and some lemons and limes. Well, that slime leached off of those beets and dropped down and absorbed into the cell membranes of the citrus fruit. And then it hardened. So basically what we have is an antimicrobial disc of citrus fruit that has dehydrated exopolysaccharides that are stored into it. And so this is what we used for our experiment in the alchemy garden. I call these enzyme tablets. We're putting these enzyme tablets into our plants out here, and we documented it on part 1 of the alchemy garden. And we're going to plant those in there, and we're going to prove, and we're going to see for ourselves what happens. So I just wanted to explain, how I think that these exopolysaccharides might be the sacred enzyme, because we're made out of enzymes. The planet's a big old enzyme. And that was the other thing that I got from meditation, was that the planet was formed from exopolysaccharides. That it started with the smallest microbial organism, and that it became what, you know, some people call it the primordial soup. That's the primordial soup. It's the goo of exopolysaccharides and all kind of antigens and different things. So that's it for today. I just wanted to explain to you what we had in our enzyme tablets that we put in our alchemy garden. And I'd love to hear what you think about that. So when you come look for me, I'll be here, because we're living in the past, present, and the future all at the same time. And don't forget to get outside today and make sure that you set your intentions and give thanks to our Universal Father and Mother Earth. So thanks for watching Sacred Enzyme, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.